Clock is winding down to next week's election. The 21st District Senate race between incumbent John Edwards, Nancy Dye, and Don Caldwell has attracted a lot of attention. WSLS 10's Bree Jackson has been following this race very closely. She joins us now live in the studio. So, Bree, we've seen the gloves come off in this race, actually.
That's absolutely right, Lindsay. We've seen political jabs as more ads and flyers have been released, and some of those have come out from outside groups. Earlier this week, we showed you that tens of thousands of dollars are being pumped into this race by party supporters. So this week, I sat down with each candidate to discuss important issues that are key to voters. It's been one intense campaign cycle for the three 21st District Senate candidates. We sat down with Democrat John Edwards, Republican Nancy Dye, and Independent Don Caldwell. Each agrees education and workforce training are key issues in this race.
Virginia Tech Korean School of Medicine, Virginia Tech Korean Research Institute, the Corporate Research Center at Virginia Tech. This is producing innovation, and innovation is what creates jobs. The infrastructure of good schools, good roads, good quality health care, which we have, and good higher educational opportunities.
The key is to put more emphasis on vocational training, and that's going to require funding from the General Assembly. And in order to have the funding, we're going to have to talk about how we're going to fund it, which is going to have to be blunt talk on increasing taxation or reducing the current programs we have.
First, we have to restore the funding that has fallen over the past 20 years for both K through 12 and higher education. And we need to make sure that our teachers are supported both financially and with parental support.
Guns are also an important topic to voters. Tragedies at Virginia Tech and most recently at Smith Mountain Lake put our area in the national debate over the right to bear arms. District 21 state Senate candidates say they support the Second Amendment and believe there are other solutions to gun violence.
Well, I sponsored the bill at the request of the parents of and the victims' families at Virginia Tech that created the Threat Assessment Team program that's now being used at all the colleges and universities. This is a program that there's a team of administrators that follow students that are having problems, whether it be academic problems, mental health problems, or disciplinary problems.
Well, I'm a strong supporter of the Second Amendment, as are the others in the race. And my approach to what has happened is really to look at our culture. We have a culture that is steeped in violence, whether it's violent movies, violent television shows, and what I think the worst is violent video games where children and young people are actually interacting and being rewarded for violence.
I would be perfectly willing to sit down and discuss any options, but so many of the options that are put forward at this time are illusory in nature, not really practical, and it's not going to solve the problem. And when they don't solve the problem, then people are going to say, well, we've got to do something even more.
All right, and just as a reminder, Election Day is next week, Tuesday, November 3rd, and then voters are encouraged to head out to the polls. In the studio, Bree Jackson, WSLS 10.